Hello and welcome back to the Emberclaw Clan of Paws Reach, and of course to RimWorld. Today is moving day, but we have a few things we need to do before that happens. First of which is I would like to build 2 more bedrolls. I would also like to go ahead and uninstall my animist carving. I would like to uninstall one of my fueled stoves just so that we can take them with us. We are going to be moving very quickly today. I also would like to cancel all, nope, not deconstruct, cancel all of my traps that are around the place so that we're not working on those when we don't need to be. And other than that, I think we're pretty much fine to get started. The reason I want to get a move on is because I feel like these insects are going to come through this wall at any time in the near future. So I want to get out of here as quickly as I possibly can. I don't know why I had those overlays on. All right, so yeah, we'll get started with that. I am going to go ahead and say, Catrian, you now have priority 1 construction, and Ueli, you also have priority 1 construction, just so that we can get this done a little bit quicker. So I will let them go ahead and do that, and we will come back in a little bit. All right, those bedrolls are now complete. I will now go ahead and select all of my bedrolls and uninstall them. As they get uninstalled, I will go ahead and replace them with double sleeping spots. Our people won't be very happy about it, but we won't be here for very much longer anyway, so I think we'll be fine. The only other thing I need to do is go ahead and set a stockpile zone that can actually accept buildings. So I'm going to clear all on this and just sort for buildings so they have somewhere to put those bedrolls and that table and that animus carving. That is our first thing gone, so we'll go ahead and replace that. I will throw one in here just in the meantime. Actually, I might even throw like a bunch in here. Why not? Just in case I miss any as they're getting deconstructed. This will give everyone a place to sleep if they need to sleep before we leave, and that should be fine. Catrian is doing a fantastic job at getting this done. I think there's only one left, and it is Ueli's. Go ahead and prioritize that, get Ueli out of bed, and that should be good to go. I believe with that all said and done, we are now ready to leave. So we're going to, actually, no, before we go ahead and leave, I need to manage the food policies. I did not mean to click clear all. That is unfortunate. All right, you're allowed to eat food. Actually, no, you're not. You're allowed to, let's clear all again. You're not allowed to eat rotten. You're not allowed to eat food with human meat. You are allowed to eat all meals. You're allowed to eat pemmican now. And you are also allowed to eat berries and agave. Just because we might find some of that on the way there. And that should be good to go. Perfect. Everyone is sort of happy. Not super happy, but sort of happy. So I think now is the better time as any to go ahead and start this caravan process. We are going to go to this location here, which is the one we discussed before. I'm going to send a caravan there. It's only going to take us 0.9 days. We will take absolutely everybody with us. And I will go ahead and figure out what we want to take in terms of our animals, our items, and our travel supplies, and I will come back at that point. All right, so this is what we ended up with. We are taking all of our colonists. We are taking a lot of our animals, but we are not taking any of our ducks. The ducks can just not come. I couldn't be bothered. You also have lung rot, which is interesting. But we are taking some donkeys. We're taking our pigs, mostly our female pigs. We're just coming with 2 regular pigs, I believe. Yep, right up here. That should be good. And then we are taking a breeding pair of goats as well as our Mega-Wolverine, because eventually we will be able to train them up, I believe. In terms of items, we're taking cloth, pigskin, plain leather, steel, animus seed, some steel arrows, fueled stove, animus carving, our shooting book, and 2 things of vodka, which may help, may not. Our recurve bows, stick bombs, range shield belt, which we can't use yet, cloth tribal wear, both good and normal, and our gold and our silver. In terms of our travel supplies, we're bringing all of our pemmican and simple meals, and none of our meat. We'll take the berries, the milk, The fertilized duck eggs are definitely staying here. We are taking some apples, all good things, and all of our bedrolls. So we can go ahead and send them. They will go ahead and start preparing all of that stuff. Now, we've got to hope that no one has a mental break during this process because that can slow things down dramatically. But hopefully everyone sort of just gets on with doing this. We aren't taking too many animals, so it shouldn't take them too long to get that all organized. And we really need to keep an eye on this, make sure they're not coming through this wall as we are leading all of these animals away. Hopefully we're okay. So I'll let them form this caravan and then we'll come back at that point. All right, looks like we are exiting. We are exiting close to the insects. Hopefully we don't aggro them. We can probably close the numbers tab at this moment. Medic is walking awfully slow. Why is that the case? I don't know. He's probably just got too much stuff on him. We have a major break risk. Hopefully we get out of the map before that triggers. That is, of course, Alarius this time, actually. Tired, terrible food variety, darkness, missing animus carving, uncomfortable, terrible skylight and festival, 8 without table. Perfect. Hopefully, why are you all... What? You were going to the exit. Why are you going back? Numbers. Everyone just get out of here. Stay away from the insects. Alright, I think we might be okay. Everyone's slowly making their way up while leaving a lot of things behind here, but that is absolutely a-okay. Please just get out of the map before a mental break happens. What are we waiting for? Why are we still just standing here? Everyone's happy. Someone's sleeping. Lily is sleeping? Stop what you're doing. Can we please just get out? Lily, come on. Come on now. Everyone just leave. Everyone just leave, please. Make this nice and easy for me. Why is everyone stopped? Okay, I'm just going to stop everyone and hopefully they all reset and then we can actually leave. Moving, wandering, moving, wandering. Just leave the map. Leave the map, please. Oh my goodness. I'll come back. There we go. There we go. All right. We are now officially away from this location. And we are going to abandon Pause Reach. That is, yep, a whole bunch of ducklings abandoned. Hopefully they now no longer affect our frame rate, which it doesn't look like they do because things are moving a lot faster. We'll go ahead and speed this up. They are resting immediately outside of their campsite, but that is absolutely fine. At least they all got out before a major break happened. So I will come back once they arrive at their destination or when they get ambushed along the way. All right, we have officially arrived, 10 natives and 22 animals. If you guys have a good name suggestion for this new location, because we are no longer at Pause Reach, please do let me know down in the comments and I will choose my favorite and that will be the name of our new location. But for right now, we need to get started with some serious planning. So I'll probably jump into a time lapse as we plan this all out, but we'll have a little bit of a look around the map together before we go ahead and do that. The first thing I want to find is where is the anima tree? It's all the way over there. Okay, that's kind of a terrible location for it, but you know what? We can potentially incorporate that into our base at a later stage. For right now, I don't know how often we'll be using that. Maybe we can work out a bridge and like a little barricade around it or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But for right now, we need to plan this out. And I'm thinking this is going to be our main base, right? We've got nice defense with the rivers all around us. We will go ahead and build palisades and things like that around as well. But for right now, I'm going to jump into some planning, figure out where I want things to sit, and we'll come back at that point. I am not going to re-roll this map because I don't know, it feels a little bit cheatier when you're not doing it on your first location. So this is what we are stuck with. And we'll figure it out. So I'll jump into a bunch of planning and then we'll come back at that point. So this is my general plan. It might change slightly from here, but this is sort of what I do want to do. So I want to have my quote-unquote kill box over here along this river. This is actually 24% walk speed, so defending this should be quite good. And then we have our dining room, kitchen, butcher, fridge. We have hospital and we have prisoners over here. These are all bedrooms. They are a little bit bigger. I wanted to leave a little bit more room to be able to have some things from Dub's hygiene in there. This also may change. We might end up actually making it something like this, having this whole back section be bathroom, but I haven't quite figured it out yet, so that'll be fine. We'll just leave it at that for right now. And then this is going to be mostly farming stuff. This is going to be mostly animal stuff. And that should be about it. Yeah, that is the general plan. And then we might eventually try and make some sort of bridge over to here. But for right now, that anima tree thing is just sort of there. I would like to go ahead and mark out at least my paths here as well. So I'll go ahead and do that and come back in a second. And then we can go ahead and actually start building everything out. So I'll come back right now because that is actually done. That's all we needed to do. Now we are going to need to plan to have some doorways and things along here as well, just so that we can get out when we need to. So I'm thinking we'll have like a doorway there, just every now and then I want a doorway sort of on a flat bit. If I can find it, that is not where I wanted that to go. So I'll plan out these doorways and then I'll come back. That is that all set up and ready to go. We can now put construction back on level 3 for both of these guys, and that should be okay. I'm hoping this will do just what we need to do. I'm going to put smithing on Puma here because that needs to be set, and I'll also put it on Anders, and that should be fine. Now, in terms of what we need to build first, our very first thing is going to be a caravan hitching spot. I am going to throw that down, I don't know, like right there, just so that we can get, actually, let's move that a little bit further in. This is basically where our animals are going to be put while we work on actually getting fences and things up and running. So that is the very first thing that we want to do. And then I would like to take these bedrolls and I would like to get them installed. So I don't know if there's a way to easily do this. Yeah, this is just going to be a manual process that's going to take me a while. So I will come back once I have all of these bedrolls installed in the bedrooms, and we'll go from there. I don't know why I wrote installed. I was thinking what I was saying. All right, I'll come back in a little bit. All right, they are all installed, I believe. The only other thing is the fueled stove, which we can probably get down right about now as well. I'll go ahead and install that in the kitchen here. So that is going to live probably there. Should be fine. And then we need to go ahead and assign a whole bunch of things. So thankfully we do have a bunch of fertile land on this map. So I'm going to do a match here. I'm going to say from about, I don't know, there. Bring this all the way down to this area and bring it all the way up to there. Bring it over. Get as much of this as we can get. Perfect. That'll be my first growing area. Then I'm going to have a second one coming out from here. And that will also include this and this. So that's my first 2 growing zones set up there. And then I will have another one for down here. That will be all of that. And nope, that is wrong. Match, please. That'll be there to there to there. And that one is going to be for heal root. And then we'll do this last one right over here. Make sure we get all of this in. Perfect, just like that. Now we have 4 grow zones. In terms of what we want to plant in them, that is a fantastic question. We don't have that many options, so we are going to stick with our tomato plants for the one of the main big areas. And this one, I think I would like to grow celery. This one, I think I would like to grow cotton. And this one is going to be our heal root, just so that we can get that started. Anything else that we get over time can be added in as well. I would like to produce some hay grass as well, but I don't need that to be on fertile ground. So I might just go ahead and assign that to be, I don't know, there. Fill that gap in a little bit, and that will be hay grass. That should be fine. And then I would also like to add one more grow zone that is going to be right to there. And this is going to be apple trees. We're going to have a nice little apple orchard so that we have some fruits growing. We are going to say align plants, and that should be absolutely perfect as well. We also have a grow zone up here we could potentially use, but for right now, I think that is going to be absolutely fine. Next order of business is to go ahead and harvest some plants. So I am going to actually say cut plants, and I would like this to be done first. I would also like this to be done, as well as all of the bedrooms that we're going to build right off the bat. So all of that can get started, and then we can go in. Do we actually have any wood? Probably not. Can we build any walls? We can't build any wood walls. We have to wait for wood to get that started, but that'll be absolutely fine. I'm going to let them run for a little bit, and that should be okay. I will, actually, the one thing that I will also go ahead and build is a set of shelves in here, because this is going to be my main storage area. So I'll get this lined up with shelves, and then we'll come back from that point. Perfect. We'll let that run for a little bit. They should get this all done nice and quickly. And the frame rate is fantastic. Our goats are starting to roam away. That should be dealt with by these guys eventually. Why are you on 6? That's a high number, but sure. We'll keep that going. They should get this all set up and ready to go very, very quickly. These are wooden, which is good. Can we now go ahead and build walls? Yes. Yes, we can. So first walls I'd probably like to build are these ones. Go ahead and get that started, as well as these ones. And I won't build the walls in between just yet. Just so that we can actually start sleeping undercover. But that should be a pretty decent start for us. Now, of course, we are going to need doors in these buildings, but that is not a problem. We'll throw those all along there, and they should get to work on that nice and quickly. Right in the middle, probably, for these ones. Perfect. Alright, Medic has gone on a sad wander. That is what it is. We also have a pair of black-footed ferret. Interesting. Female and male. They are predators, apparently, if we look at wildlife. They have a tame chance of 80%. Okay. Okay. Are they special at all? They are endangered in the real world, but they're a small nocturnal member of the weasel family that feeds on other smaller mammals. It has a long body and yellowish-brown fur with a blackish wash of fur on its back and a black mask around its eyes. Can they be trained, is my question. Because if they can, I would be kind of down. Where do I see that? It's in here somewhere. They are... Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Trainability advanced. Yeah, they are trainable. It could be worth my time trying to train them. In terms of our handlers, Medic actually does have a skill of 10, but they're sad wandering at the moment. So I'm going to mark these guys to be tamed. We don't have any food to do that just yet, but, you know, maybe they'll stay on the map long enough for that to happen. If not, it sort of just is what it is. With most of those initial walls pretty much built, it is time to go ahead and actually start working on cooking and planting, which they have already started with, just to make sure that we can sustain ourselves in the meantime. I probably will also throw up a manager table, which will allow me to automatically collect berries and stuff while we are waiting for our food sources to stabilize a little bit. and that should be good. And then the next step after that is going to be walling our animals in so that they can no longer roam away. I will also get some wooden wall torches in our kitchens and things like that, but for the moment, we are going to let this run. And actually, uninstalling that table and reinstalling it left us with the same things that we had set up before. So that is actually fantastic. I don't have to worry about that as much as I would have otherwise. So happy days. But we will continue on and we'll come back in a little bit. All right, in terms of what this guy is selling, they're actually selling some stuff that we might want, specifically kibble. They have hay, but we can now grow that ourselves. They also have wood. We're doing fine on that, but that kibble could actually very well be useful in taming those animals that we saw before. Other than that, though, I'm not super interested. The alpacas maybe could be fun, but I think we've got enough animals as it is. So I'm going to accept that kibble. I am then going to go into my loadouts. What is medic on at the moment? Medic is on the recurve bow, so I'm going to copy this. This is going to be recurve bow handler. And I'm going to say I want you carrying kibble times 50 at all times. And that way medic can actually have some things to feed animals and train them up. In terms of doing that, I would like to train the Mega-Wolverine into doing all of the things that it can possibly do. They should probably be restricted to a zone for the moment, but they'll be fine wandering around at the moment, I suppose. And then are those animals still around? Or did they leave? They might have left already. And I think the answer is yes. I believe they have already left the map. So we're not going to be able to tame them, but, you know, it is what it is. Unless I'm missing them in here, but yeah. Oh well. That is what it is. They are getting on with this nice and quickly, which is great to see. We still are building our dining table at the moment. That should be fine. We're hauling all of the chunks away. These are still technically barracks. We will get to that in a minute. I'm not too concerned about that. Everyone's mood is okay for the moment. I think the next thing I would like to go ahead and do is build ourselves our palisades that at least wall our animals in. Now, I am obviously going to have to do the... Okay, that's annoying. The log walls on either side of our doors, but that is going to be fine. I'll get this all queued up and then we'll come back. We are also getting some heat stroke coming in since it is currently 44 degrees. So we will have to go ahead and throw down a passive cooler at the very least in here, but probably in the bedrooms as well. So for right now, I think we can probably get away with one in either corner and then we'll vent the rest. These not being separate rooms yet is actually a benefit to us. We can go ahead and throw one right there, throw one right there, and throw one right there. And that will hopefully take care of that a little bit. I will go ahead and say, grab, where are you, Catrion? You can go ahead and prioritize working on all of those, please. Shift clicking, shift clicking to make sure that they are queued up rather than anything else. And that should be good to go. I believe I shift clicked that one. Maybe I didn't. But they are getting built, so that is a good thing. They're getting built by people that I didn't expect to build them, but you know, it is what it is. Now you can go back to please prioritizing these three, and that should be good to go. Indian elephants have wandered in. They are potentially carrying things that are valuable. So let's have a look at that. They have a little bit of silver and gold on them. Are there any more? Is it just the one? Well, that's unfortunate. I was hoping that maybe it was more than that. Unless these are... No, they're rhinoceros. That's unfortunate. If we go in here, can we... Nope, wildlife. And sort by name, Indian elephant is not up... There you are. Yeah. So, unfortunately, there is just the one. I would be sort of interested if there was a breeding pair, but as it is right now, I think I'm just going to leave them alone. They don't really have that much on them that will be of use to us. So we'll leave them alone for the moment. They can live their lives as they see fit. We have a lot of things over here. We need a research bench. We need meditation spot. Ritual opportunity is soon. Pulse of the clan. I believe that requires a fire and drums. This is probably a decent sort of ritual area over here. Maybe we'll go ahead and set that up as well. So let's go for a campfire. Say there. As well as a couple of drums. And they're going to be cloth for the moment because we don't really have all that many options. And we can have, I don't know, sort of a drum on each side of the campfire. That'll be fine. And then we can get that done once that comes up. But for right now, everyone is sleeping. It's not too bad in there, so they should hopefully be okay. We are slowly but surely working on these walls, and once that is done, everything in here will be pretty much self-sufficient. In terms of food, we are running low. I need to go ahead and set up that manager table. All right, let's do that. So I want apple trees, berry bushes, Sibarius, I think is fine to eat. Anything else in here? Potatoes, raspberries, rice. No. I think that's it. So I want, I don't know, like 200 should be fine. And that should be good. Only harvest fully grown plants and let that go. So someone should hopefully start working on that. We do have a couple of managers in. I will assign medic to that as well, just to make sure that we can get that going. That is currently not updating, but Dragon is doing that right now. That should queue that up, and that should be fantastic. These are going to take a while to grow, but, you know, that is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. Once we have this pen set up too, we should be able to start harvesting some of our animals. Currently, these are not set to be slaughtered at all, which is dangerous because that way it can get away from us. I'm going to leave it at 2 male adult pigs. I'm going to leave it at 4 female adult pigs. And then in terms of young, we can have an unlimited amount. Donkeys, I would like 2 and 2. And goats, I would like 2 and 2. And that should be fine. They should now go start slaughtering those. In order to utilize that, though, we are going to need to get ourselves a kitchen. Where's kitchen? Kitchen's there. A butcher table so that we can actually slaughter those animals and butcher those animals for their meat. So hopefully someone builds that relatively soon. I might even prioritize that just to get that working. And then we shouldn't really have too many issues with food from here on out. That is built. We'll go ahead and say butcher creature, do forever, and also make kibble. And I want you to do that until you have, I don't know, like 200. Should be fine. That'll be fine. Perfect. All right. We'll let that run for a little bit longer. All right. Well, I didn't expect this to come up so soon. Ilarius thinks that we should give a name to this settlement. And I don't know if you can rename a settlement once you've named it, but I'm going to call this New Reach for now. And hopefully we can rename it later. If we go into the world map, click on this, go into here. There's got to be a way to rename this at some point, right? But this is New Reach for now. I feel like that's appropriate. If you guys have better name suggestions, please do let me know down in the comments, and also let me know if it's possible to change that or if I've just locked that in forever. We will continue on. Medic is still having breaks every now and then. 13 days and they should be okay. They're getting there. They're getting there, slowly but surely. We'll continue on. I am just for the moment going to get rid of that hitching spot because our animals are slowly starving. They need to get off for a little bit and eat. And this is almost done, so I think before they roam away completely, they should all go ahead and, you know, be okay. We have a dead squirrel that is currently unallowed. We have an ancient danger over here. We sort of knew about that. It's actually got jade walls. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, no meteor comes down and opens this one up. That would be bad for us. But yeah, it's going. We also have Pulse of the Clan opportunity. We will go ahead and do that during the day. But the next thing we do need to go ahead and set up is somewhere for these people to wash and, you know, go to the bathroom. So I will go ahead and set up a latrine in each of these sort of barracks that we currently have. They're not going to have walls, but, you know, they're going to be okay with it. We will also get some steel wooden tubs. I'm going to throw them right next to the latrines for right now. That one can be cancelled. And then we just need a well. And I think at the end of this and maybe like up here, it's probably fine for right now. And that should help with everyone, you know, getting clean a little bit faster rather than going all the way out to the river, which is an option, but, you know, that will be a little bit better. The only other thing that I want to throw down is a burn pit, and I'm going to throw that over here because this is where our raid spot is, and that should be okay. We have a pig that's trying to wander away. This is almost enclosed. We're getting very, very close. They're all going to start roaming away, but they should be okay. You are currently sleeping. Hopefully we can get this done reasonably quickly. We may have to go ahead and reset up that caravan spot, but I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. As long as we don't lose the breeding pairs, we'll be fine. Actually, no, I'm scared about it. I'm scared. Let's go ahead and get that caravan hitching spot back down over here where there's a little bit more grass, and that should be okay. Once they start collecting all of those animals, which should be about now, once they've finished that, I will go ahead and do the Pulse of the Clan, and hopefully that increases everyone's mood just a little bit more. Medic is currently wandering around. You know, she's doing her own thing. But this is very close. This is very close. Get it all finished. I think there's like just this little section here left. And then we can officially call that enclosed, I believe. Yes. Yes, we can. All right, so we can remove that hitching spot now. That is no longer necessary. Most of the animals are in their pens. We do have a Thrinaxodon. Thrinaxodon? Yeah, I believe that's how it's called. In the pen. That is what it is for the moment. We're going to deal with that after we do a Pulse of the Clan. But I would like to wait for Medic to be stable before we go ahead and do that. So that might take a little bit. Instead, we'll draft all of our ranged people and find this Thyraxodon down here and shoot it to hell. Get it out of that animal pen, please. Wait for everyone to come down. Thankfully, it is sleeping, so this really shouldn't be too tricky. I probably drafted way more people than I needed to, but you know what it is. There we go. Shoot. And our people can't aim, so I'm actually kind of glad that I did that many, and we'll get that finished off. Perfect. Allow all, and good to go. Medic is still doing the things. Hopefully that stops soon. We have 9 days to do this, so we're not too concerned about it. Is there another one in there? Seriously? Oh, it's bleeding out in 5 hours. It should die. It should die. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just leave it for the moment. Alarius is bringing some animals back in. Hopefully that is most of our people back in, and now we can do the Pulse of the Clan. So this is going to be 89%. We have 9. Why is Ueli not participating? Ueli is injured. What happened to you? You have a cut. You have a single cut on your right index finger and you don't want to attend to this. Okay, well, that is what it is. We're going to do it anyway. Everyone is going to grab out their Emberclaw Clan pint glasses, celebrate a little bit, play some drums, dance, just be happy, and hopefully it'll be okay. Of course, Puma and Alarius didn't like it too much. They are having a social fight. But we got 10 goodwill with Wellis. And we got +2 development points. Does that mean we can now reform our ideology? We might be able to. So we can close that. We still have a piglet wandering away. They should get wrangled up sooner rather than later. Social fight is over. Everything is looking okay. I mean, it was. Ueli is having a heart attack. Debilitating heart attack. A disruption in the heart's normal beating rhythm. Heart attacks can be debilitatingly painful. They can worsen and lead to death. or recover. Medic is going ahead and tending to Ilarius. Please prioritize tending to Ueli. I feel like a heart attack might be more important than a few bruises. Just a little bit. That has, I believe, been tended. Yeah, now it's only 3.8. I might even grab Medic here and say, use your Word of Healing on Ueli. I don't know if that does a whole lot, and then go ahead and rescue Ueli. And yeah, that is now at 3.8%. That's a little bit better than before, but it's still not great. We also made a little sleeping bag for the Mega-Wolverine in Medic's room here, because Medic is the tamer, although they're not doing a fantastic job of it just yet. This is currently a 2 out of 5. But it is one of their top priorities, so, you know, it sort of just is what it is. Medic should also... Oh, I know why. I never actually assigned... You are forced holding kibble. You should actually be on the recurve bow handler so that you don't have to force hold kibble. It's just automatically in your inventory. Alright, perfect. That should help out with that. We still have a pig wandering away. We have some starvation. People are hungry. We need to get cooking. Do we have any food that can be cooked? We must, because we have a priority. Let's go ahead and get that done. You're going to wander all the way down here to grab some food and bring that back to cook. All right. Stressful, but we officially have a new colony all set up and running. I think the next main thing that I want to work on is a perimeter wall, because I am scared of the world and I don't want to die. But I'm going to let them settle into this for a little bit, get the rest of this all done. This is a little recreation corner. And yeah, we're going to let them live their lives for just a little bit as they fix all of the problems that they currently have. We are still having a bit of a problem with food. We might have to go ahead and do some hunting. Let's have a look at what meat is available. So you are wild boars, won't attack us. And they'll give us pigskin, which we're already harvesting anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and hunt, I don't know, 4 of them. Make sure that we actually have some people that are assigned to hunting. So that is going to be Ilarius. And I guess Catrion can do it after construction, so she's probably not going to do it very often. Dragon, you can also do it, please. And Medic, I would like you to do it as well. And that should be okay. We have a mad squirrel, which is potentially some food. They're going to come in from up there. Who is our best shooter? Our best shooter is Medic, Dragon, and Catrion. So Medic, Dragon, and Catrion, you guys are all going to be drafted. Just come along here and take care of that mad squirrel. Medic should hopefully get out of the way in time. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We also have a man-hunting pack of lynx at the exact same time. That is just 2 lynx, but that is a little bit scary. I am going to now draft everyone else. They can all be drafted, and I will set them up. Probably down here is where they're going to come in. Let's go for that. We'll wait for these guys to deal with this squirrel, and then we'll bring them back down as well. If we can get you guys to please shoot at squirrel, kill squirrel, and wait for lynx. They might be coming up the long way, actually. How's this going? Alright, the squirrel is down. They can now... Well, let's change tact a little bit and move everyone up here, because it looks like this is where they're going to come in. Yeah, absolutely it is. Maybe even bring them straight back to here, just because this is all cleared out, so there won't be as many obstacles for us to shoot over. We'll spread them out a little bit more. And we can probably go ahead and do aim shot with this many people shooting. Okay. We have flame ball. That's not going to help us right now. Anders, Puma, go ahead and attack that manually. There we go. Everyone's down. Perfect. We did take a little bit of damage. Ilarius, how are you doing? You just have bruises. Lily took a little bit of damage, just some scratches. Yeah, we'll be absolutely fine with that. We can allow all. We will allow that. And have they built this yet? Not quite. Well, they have, but they haven't fueled it yet. We want to go ahead and say cremate corpse. Do forever. Allow rotten. And this is going to be animal corpses. We'll add another bill for cremate corpse. This is going to be allow rotten and fresh, and this is going to be human-like corpses except for colonists. And you can also do that forever. And then I will go ahead and just put a dumping stockpile zone up around this that contains rotten and fresh. No, just rotten, actually. Don't allow fresh, and we'll do clear all, actually. Corpses, animal corpses. Don't allow fresh, and we can also throw waste down there. So fecal sludge can go in there, and then I will make another dumping stockpile zone off to the side of that, like that, for our allow all, clear all, and this will be for human-like corpses, but not colonists. Perfect. Good enough. They don't line up even a little bit. That goes down to there, and then that gets shrunk from there. Perfect. Done. All right. Looks like we are hunting some of these pigs. I don't know how well it's going, but it is happening. You are fine. You'll be all right. I don't know how that's going, but you know, we should get a little bit of food coming in shortly. We are butchering that up, and that should get cooked reasonably quickly. So I'll let them continue on for a little bit here, and we'll come back in a little bit. Oh no, Mega Sloth has been harmed by... Oh, these two are fighting. Okay, the Mega Sloth is bleeding out in 10 hours. Do we have any people around here? No, it's just these two. Alright, Mega-Wolverine took out the Mega Sloth. That's kind of cool. Missing 22% of its body. Mega-Wolverine is just eating. Cool. Haul that and eat that, please. You have 4 conditions need tending. A couple of bites, you'll be okay. The Mega-Wolverine ate 35% of that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. Informed of this collection. No, thank you. We are not currently in the position to be going anywhere. I will come back in a little bit once they've sorted some of these things out. Alright, I think next thing is next. We should probably go ahead and set up a home zone inside of our will-be walls. And then go ahead and assign a zone for the Mega-Wolverine so he doesn't end up in our kitchen. And we'll set up a shelf somewhere for him with some kibble. So I'll come back once that is all done. It's going to probably take a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll come back in a little bit. Apparently our Mega-Wolverine gave birth and I missed it, but for right now I'm just going to set them to the home. Actually, no, I can't. I need to unallow them in the kitchen area. So I will have to go ahead and set up a pet zone. That is what it is. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I might even for the moment just set it up to something like this, and they can just hang out there. That should be okay. The only thing I need to do, of course, is go ahead and come in here and say, you guys are not allowed in the kitchen, please. And then I will go ahead and set up a shelf somewhere. Maybe, yeah, down here. And this can just be for critical, say, kibble. And that should give our Mega Sloth and Mega Wolverines something to eat. Perfect. All right. With all of that done, most of the construction is complete. I don't think there's much else for them to do other than go ahead and start working on this palisade wall. So I will queue that up and then we'll come back once they've started working on that. Alright, I will let them get working on that. Everyone is in pretty good spirits at the moment. The only person who's not is Alarius, and that is because of intense pain. How is... Oh, was it Kisol? Who had the heart attack? Ueli. Yeah. You're okay. You're doing alright. I'm glad that heart attack didn't kill you. But yeah, they'll go ahead and start constructing all of these, and we'll come back in a little bit. One thing I just thought about is I made these all steel bridges and we don't have all that much steel lying around, so I should probably go ahead and actually start mining some of it. That is, of course, going to require me to build another palisade there, but I am okay with that, and we need to make sure that someone is actually assigned to mining. So I think give that to Ilarius, probably. Yeah, Ilarius and Ueli both have skill in that. I'm going to say you do that at a priority 4. So you'll plant, cut, harvest, and grow after that. And Ueli can also have that at a priority 4. And that should hopefully get us enough steel to be able to build all of this. I hope. We have mad rats. Many of the rats in the location have been driven mad. Okay. That's not too bad. You are all the way over there. That's unfortunate. You two can deal with the one that's right on top of you. That'll be easy. You are recurve bow. You are recurve bow. Perfect. We'll draft both of you, and you guys can both shoot at that rat. Use aim shots for now. That'll be fine. Anders here can go ahead and take care of this one. He is melee, so that should be an easy enough task for him. And then Catrion and Lily can go ahead and be drafted and deal with this one. Hopefully that'll be alright. Dragon, you run away. Run away a little bit more. Hopefully someone can hit a shot. Perfect. You guys are done. Allow everything. That is fresh. Perfect. More meat. Anders is taking care of that one. And, well, Anders might actually end up taking care of both of them, to be fair. Or maybe not. Ilarius, draft. You shoot at that rat. Help out Anders. Perfect. And where is the other one? It's coming down for us. So Lily and Catrion can be undrafted. I will go ahead and draft Puma as well. And then Anders and Puma can deal with this last one. Ilarius, you can get undrafted and go heal up. We will finish that off. And that rat was a one-shot. Perfect. Nice and easy. This is mostly probably because our wealth has gone all the way down. It's come up a little bit more, but we are now at 50,000 wealth, which is a little bit better than up all the way over here. So that is why the raids that we're getting are much easier to deal with at this point. But I still want to get these walls up as quickly as humanly possible, just to make sure that we are safe in case a scarier thing does happen to come and attack us. Alright, I'm going to do something a little bit strange here and actually sell my larger Wolverine. That's because Medic really doesn't have the time to be training them all that often. We're going to raise this one from a cub instead, and I think that'll be absolutely fine. The other thing that I will do... Will I? No, I think we're going to be fine on food. I don't think I'm going to buy that jerky. Well, it's always good to have. Let's buy the jerky. Leave it at that. There's nothing else really in there that I was super interested in. And that'll be absolutely okay. That means I can deconstruct this animal bed and set this to the Mega-Wolverine 3. And that should be good to go. Hopefully Medic can have a little bit more time to train up just the one of them. And hopefully they eat a little bit less as well. Their training is actually happening. So they have 2 out of 3 on guard at the moment, which is good. Looks like it's all happening, and we are slowly but surely building these walls out. After that is done, I will go ahead and build up the rest of this, separate all these rooms off, and yeah, go from there. Everything is running smoothly at the moment, touch wood. We'll be back in a little bit. Of course, Medic is still throwing tantrums. She'll smash up random furniture, items, and structures. You know, it is what it is. If you want to smash anything, that's probably one of the best things you can smash. Please don't smash the bridges. Anything else is absolutely fine. Get yourself a little bit of catharsis. The breaks haven't been too bad on Medic. I'll give her that. And she is slowly but surely getting over it. 4.4 days left, and she will be a much happier person to be around. Which is good, because she is actually the counselor. So, you know, if it was anyone else, I would be able to counsel Medic. Unfortunately, Medic can't counsel themselves. It is what it is. We actually have access to cannons. Portable medieval cannon mounted on a 180-degree swivel that launches roughly rounded balls of steel at a considerable range. The accuracy is rather lacking, but is a vast improvement compared to catapults. Well, there you go. I didn't know that existed. But for right now, we are just going to throw down some steel spike traps along this corridor. Hopefully that protects us a little bit. Unfortunately, we can't get one in there, but that is... Well, actually, if we copy that, move that to there, cancel that, throw that down there, that works. And then we can throw another one in there. Perfect. There is our traps all set up. We will go ahead and do the same thing with the sandbags that we did last time. They will come right out to there so that no one can hide behind there. Ruben has gained a Psycast level. Let's go ahead and see what we can unlock here. I'm thinking I'm going to go for Explosion. And hopefully that's good. We will have to see. It is a little bit unfortunate that it takes them forever to get over here. I think one of the immediate things that I want to do is create a bridge over to this area, although I'm not 100% sure if that counts as a structure. I guess we could bridge to at the very least here. And then if we get any closer, then it's going to count as a structure. Maybe we just deal with that being a little bit slower, because I really would like to have a bridge over there, because these guys are taking forever to wander around this place. We have a new quest available. Small force from Western Republic is engaging a larger group of Nords people. Allied forces include a villager and a town guard, and we have to destroy a thrall, 2 torch throwers, and a bowman. Is this worth it? Goodwill and camp loot? No. No, sorry. We're not in a position to help right now. We're trying to get ourselves established in this new location. Alright, since food is now no longer a problem, I am going to pause that foraging job because that is taking them all across the map and slowing things down quite substantially. The walls are almost done, so we'll come back once they are complete. Alright, I believe all of our walls are finished. The only thing left is this singular spike trap, which hopefully Lily doesn't butcher. She doesn't. Perfect. We are now, at the very least, a little bit secure. So I think that is where I'm going to leave today's episode. Everyone is in pretty decent spirits. Catrion is a little bit sad because she was rebuffed, or he was rebuffed by Lily 3 times. But yeah, that is where we're going to leave it for today. If you guys are enjoying the new layout of the new clan, new settlement at, what did I call it? New Reach? Please do let me know in the comments down below. Leave a comment for the sake of engagement, leave a like for the sake of engagement, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. But until next time, happy building, happy surviving. Bye, guys.